Hi everyone, this is Nadia. I am an occult specialist that uses spiritual intelligence to empower entrepreneurs into a healthy, empowered money story to live a balanced life. Today's round, we are going to be doing something slightly different, and I had a whole conversation with the 26th spirit of the Goetia, which, as most of you know, I work with Lady Duchess Bune. So Duchess Bune's channel is something I want to discuss at great liberty and great length. It will go into specific different tangents, and it covers how to be powerful as a woman, or how to be in your power in the feminine, or how to be successful as a woman but not doing it as a man. So there are a couple of things that I want to start off with as a disclaimer here. If you are a survivor of any physical trauma, emotional trauma, especially sexual trauma as a woman, please do not watch this video by yourself. Have somebody who you can feel safe around, because there will be many things that I'm discussing in this that can be very provocative and very inflammatory, and they can trigger you, and you can end up having flashbacks, and we don't want that. I don't want anybody to struggle after watching my videos, but the kind of things that I feel like I need to say before I get into Bune's channel are very important. Okay, I want to start off with a public service announcement to all women across the world that are watching this. I never thought that I would actually have to get on camera and say this, but I've had a lengthy and long discussion with Lady Duchess Bune and also a lot of my other spirits, and we feel that it's very important that every single woman watching this knows this. Men watching this, look out for the women generally. I mean, because it's increasing in the world and someone needs to address it and talk about it. Okay, as of present, this whole lockdown situation, they have put up the 5G towers, as everybody knows. So 5G is being rolled out. So 5th generation, actually what has happened is the portals have opened to the other worlds, basically, not just to the spirit world. But what happens is, like the earth, basically, I want you to think of like this house I guess I'm living in, and if the roof is taken off, well, the rain can pour in, anything can pour in, we're exposed, we're defenseless, we're vulnerable. The major goal is to break down relations between men and women. It's to break down the family unit. It's to break down the love and the unity that a man and a woman can have together. Not just in terms of a heterosexual love or straight, whatever it is you want to call it, but general love that a woman can have for a man, can have for a dad, a brother, a cousin, a nephew, family members, generally respectful men at large, and vice versa, of course. So, irrespective of wherever you are in the world as a woman, unless absolutely and utterly unavoidably necessary, do not leave your house between the times of 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. There are many predators that are on the loose at the moment. Their garb is wearing a mask and everything to cover. It's like a black robe to cover themselves up. They're using two weapons, which is a rope, basically, to, quite obvious reasons, tie a woman up, and a crowbar to either knock you out unconscious or do something, whatever it is they need to do. There are many other things that I can cover on this as well, but anybody that has any type of psychic ability or any type of spiritual ability knows that this is increasing. Now, we as women know that a lot of men are not safe. We just know that. This is not a dig at men. This is not saying men are horrible, blah, blah, no. We know the reality of what it is we are facing every day. Now, there's a lot of women that come and ask me that what's happened to men? Why have they become so violent? What's going on? It's not particularly the men's fault. What's happening is they are layering estrogen in plastics, turning men very soft, very feminine, almost, they're more and more homosexual men by the minute. I don't have anything against gay people before anybody wants to start with this, but there now becomes a problem when it becomes an agenda to shove down everybody's throat. Next, they are spraying testosterone suppressants in the air through chemtrails. They have used pornography as a portal as well. So anytime a man is viewing porn on his screen, there's a portal that's open to all type of unclean spirits, everything that can, all types of unclean spirits, entities, anything that can come through. In the world generally, of course, because it's invisible, not invisible, sorry, it's invisible to most of the naked eye, the portals are now open. The 5G is resonating at a specific frequency that allows these entities to pour into our world, which may not have been the case even, I don't know, even a couple of years ago, basically. So it's like taking an entire shielding off, so, well, you're exposed to it. What they're doing is they're using men. Men are nothing but puppets and instruments for them to come and hurt women. So it's not particularly the men that are with the issues, and I want to make this very clear before I get into the channel that Duchess Bune has covered. It's men are struggling a lot as well in this day and age. They're struggling. They completely want to finish and wipe out masculinity. Anything masculine, remotely masculine in a man, they want to completely. It's like they want to leave men as eunuchs, basically, just nothing, just no masculinity, no nothing, so that they know that when they really start going after the women, there are literally no men to protect us. Their men are so fed up of women, you know, lots of things. I can cover lots of things. There's a systematic breakdown, there's a systematic chemical breakdown of a feminine woman and a masculine man. They've traded the gender traits up, they've crossed them. Women behave more like men and men are behaving more like women, especially in Western society. So this is not me like getting on camera and telling women what to do. You know, it is my own gender, and I do want every woman that's watching this to be safe. Do your best. If you have to be out at those hours, please try and have a man with you that you trust. Just because a man is known to you doesn't mean he's trustworthy. Please vet people's intentions towards you, vet how they treat you, and it's important. You're not being paranoid, you're just being safe. So, closing that public service announcement, please take care of yourselves, take care of people you love, and the type of, you know, women they're going after are ages between, I'd say, the younger the better, the more naive the better. And I implore all women watching this to be very careful of your surroundings at all times. Don't come out the hairdresser, you're distracted, you're on your phone, you're running somewhere. Don't sit in your car and check off shopping lists, especially if you've parked in malls, things like that. Be vigilant all the time. You never know where someone is, what type of tiny window of opportunity they are looking for. And this is not to frighten and scare people watching this. This is a public service announcement, meaning that more and more people need to know about this. The world is becoming an increasingly evil and dangerous place. I'm not saying it wasn't to begin with. It's getting worse by the day. So just please take care of your protections. This is reality. This is what's happening. If you don't want to face it, by all means, you shouldn't be watching this channel in the first place. The channel is there. Spartanite is there to give you the truth from a destructive point, so that it destroys all your false illusions, your insecurities, your myths, your confusions, so that we give you the real diamond within you, so that you can then restart afresh and just have situational awareness. So first and foremost, that's a warm-up, and thank you so much for just being with me through this. And please share it with everyone, not from a place of fear. Please don't share it from a place of fear. Share it from a place of vigilance. Share it from a place of empowerment. Okay. On that note, Duchess Bune has been completely and amazingly instrumental for me as a woman. As a woman who holds a very strong primal power to still be feminine. Now, there's going to be a lot of women who can relate to this. Well, obviously, like I said previously in the warm-up part, that in the PSA as well, that women are being pushed into roles that are extremely and utterly masculine. Women's bodies can't cope anymore. Women are tired, women are depressed, people are burnt out, they're fed up, they don't know how to provide any longer because they've made a lot of men useless in society. That's just what it is, and I don't want to sit here and be argumentary or inflammatory to it, but we have to call a spade for what it is. So what's the best way to be a woman who has ambition, who has power, who has command, who has strength, who has all of those traits that are naturally there? I see, when I was young, I never had a role model who was a Spartanite. In fact, I never had a role model who I looked up to as a woman, not a single woman. I was like, God, this is what women are. That was, I used to think that all the time in my head. Really, this is, I'm sorry, I can't relate to this. There is a sense of being timid, and there's a sense of being inferior to a man that most women are trained from in birth, and I'll try and cover as best of it as I can. We are socialized in society. Men always go first, men lead, men get the best share, men get everything, and we get the scraps. As a young woman, I did not get the memo on that. I said, well, if a man's having a steak, I'm having a steak too. I mean, I'm not talking about food here, but the best example is I'll give of maybe like applying for jobs. So imagine there is a newspaper advert and there is a job for 32,000, whatever your currency is, pounds, dollars, euros, blah, blah. And there's one for 100,000. Near enough all men will apply for the 100,000, near enough all women will apply for the 32,000. This can go back to a financial state where men, being obviously the breadwinners of society, at least that's what it's supposed to be, are meant to earn more, are meant to have more. Obviously, ambition is there. And women are socialized with low self-esteem, that we should just get the scraps and we should just kind of be grateful for what we have. No way, no chance. So what happens if you are a woman and you're like myself? You have power, and it's not power because I'm trying to be like a man. I have no interest in being like a man because I'm not a man, if that makes sense. So our first role models as women in the axioms of power are men. When you think of it, power, you think, oh man, masculine. It's shouty, it's powerful, it's dominant. Power is often abused by a lot of men. So women just think, oh, I don't want to be around power, or power is this really rich men at the 1% and they abuse people. Yeah, it's not like they're using their power for anything good. That's the thing. I mean, why sit here and lie about it? So our role models as ambitious women in society are, well, if you want to be successful, be a man, be cutthroat, don't bring your emotions in anything. Like all the male spirits I work with, same thing, it's just business, it's not emotional. Sorry, I'm a woman. Business is very emotional for me and I like keeping it that way. Just focus obviously on numbers, on stats, blah, blah. And that's very normal for a man's mind. For the most part, women struggle with financial success and they struggle with being successful because the way we understand money is, or the way we process money is very different to a man. For a man, it's very linear, logical, straightforward, bing, 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 that's it, done. For women, it's like these whole emotions that go through it. It doesn't mean that we're flawed or that we're damaged or there's anything wrong with us. I understand if you're a man, you physically, obviously from a chemical, biological level, cannot understand what it is for a woman, and to a degree vice versa. So I struggled with it. When I was younger, I didn't see any ambitious women who behaved like a woman, because this world tells us as women, you cannot be successful and be feminine, and you cannot be successful and you cannot have your own your own thoughts, your own mentality, your own thinking, and you cannot be an independent thinker and still be feminine, because feminine women are submissive. Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to cover that as well. There's a difference between submissive and surrender. Submissive, quiet, appeasing to men. You don't say anything. If they're talking, shut up. It's not your place to talk. Fragile, dainty, which that's more girly than feminine is probably what I'd say. So we don't really have any role models of women who have power, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, sexual, radioactive, sexual, psychosexual, all different as spiritual. So the women that do have a level of power that I consider feminine are usually women that practice magic, such as myself, women who are sorceresses, women who work with the other world, because it lends you an air of glamour and power. Traditionally, when I think of things like corporate America, corporate UK, corporate Western society, when women get into offices, guess what? Start behaving like men immediately. You don't show emotions, don't do anything, get on with your work, shut up, you can go cry in the toilets. It's not even masculine energy. I'm not even sure what that is. I'm just like, that sounds like a repression of a human being, which is very dangerous. So when I was younger, I really, really wanted success because I have very, very strong ambition. But for the most part, ambition is seen as a dirty word in a woman. It's, oh, she's ambitious, so equals man, basically. So, oh, she behaves like a man. I struggled a lot with that. Like, I was extremely good at getting shit done, as I call it, which is extreme masculine energy. I was very good at it. I didn't quite know how to be I don't know if I can say graceful as much as herald the traditional feminine traits of refinement, poise, class, grace, elegance, sophistication, those kind of things, worldliness. I had it to a certain degree, but my demeanor and my mannerisms were still lending more towards that. You have to do it like a man to be successful. Now, I have done it like a man when I was younger, again, because I had not a single role model of a woman who I saw was like, wow, she's successful, but she's also very visibly feminine. She's also graceful. She's also charming. She's kind. It's to a degree that ambition hardens up a woman. It's a good and bad thing, because obviously to be able to be successful in your career or successful in your business as a woman, you obviously need masculine logic. That's just common sense, right? Otherwise you're not going to be able to do it, because you're not going to have enough of the get up and go drive to be able to do things. But what happens over a period of time is that if women don't take care of themselves, I've seen some women's websites where I'm like, we can just take you out and we stick a man in and there will be no difference. Nobody would ever be able to tell whether it's a man or a woman. And many women struggle with this. The old traits of the old feminine womanly traits have literally pretty much been wiped away from society. And I guess the few women that are teaching them it's very scary that it's coming from a sex worker perspective. Now, this is no shade on anybody that's done sex work. I couldn't care less. I'm not here to judge people. But when you start having escorts telling you how to behave feminine, society has failed. And it's interesting enough that those women at this present time seem to understand the feminine arts more than a woman who does not participate in that type of thing. So what's happening is that just like men don't really have any powerful masculine role models who are very masculine, very strong, courageous, determined, have valor, they have vigor, but they're also kind, loving, sensitive. They have that balance between them. Women are also lacking it. So many women are they're at a point where they're thinking, well, I want to be successful, but ooh, I see what successful women are. And you turn around and you think, oh, hell no, I'm not becoming that. I also, like I said, did not have role models in it. So Duchess Bune helped me a lot. Duchess Bune, what she did was help me point out the areas where it's like, yeah, that's a bit masculine, Nadia. Really, you wouldn't really be doing that. And she worked through vibrational energy to start really helping me change in the way I was carrying myself, what I was doing. And Duchess Bune gave me a lot of power in terms of not the primal power that people feel from me as a Spartanite, but she gave me power in terms of how do I hold this level of intelligence, ambition, and power, which are traditionally seen as something men have, women don't have it, okay? And how am I also able to hold the apple of femininity, and how can I be both? How can I be refined, graceful, and charming, but how can that also tie into primal power? Primal power is not weak, it's very physically strong. It will destroy. It doesn't turn a cheek, we smash them. And I have no how do I put this in I guess the best way possible? I have no shame in saying that, and I have no hesitation, probably is the word I was looking for, in saying that power is my birthright, money is my birthright, love is my birthright. I demand it in this world, and that doesn't make me any less of a woman, because what we are told in society, we are constantly shamed all the time. If a woman is ambitious, she's masculine. If a woman's intelligent, she's masculine. If she knows how to speak her mind, definitely masculine. No man wants to be with you. So essentially, what do women end up doing? What is the solution? We hide our intelligence, we hide our capacity, we hide our ambition, we hide. That's how I used to feel. I used to hide because for so long I saw men and I used to look at them and think, what's wrong with you? Like, just what is wrong with you? Why am I stronger than you? And I used to feel ashamed of my own strength. For a long time I felt very ashamed of being strong and powerful because I saw so many men who, in my mind, when I was younger, it was a big slap to find out that a lot of men are not strong, sadly. This is not me saying emotionally or whatever it is. A man can struggle with his emotions, but he's still a strong man. You can still feel the strength radiate from him. He will still put himself forward. He will still feel his feelings. Strength, it doesn't mean that you've been knocked down or whatever it is. Someone's either stronger than not, that's it. And it came to, I guess, a natural conclusion on it. For me, I equate strength with primal power. Somebody that, no matter what fucked up shit you've put them through, they're still gonna come out. They're actually gonna look better. That's the scary part out of it. So when I started asking myself this question, like, I just felt like maybe I'm doomed. At some point, I used to think, oh, I just wish I was like a graceful feminine woman, like Audrey Hepburn or something. And she was very dainty and polite and sweet, and that's maybe the traditional feminine. Maybe I should behave more like that. And I didn't know what to do, because if I have dark hair, right? And even if I dye it blonde, which I was talking to one of my friends, I used to be a Paraxyle bottle blonde when I was 15. For all of you who went to school with me, you know that. But still, the blonde's gonna start to come down, and then my roots are gonna start showing. My roots are black, they're jet black, ink black. That's kind of how I felt about hiding my strength and power. It's like, what's the point? It's gonna bleed through anyway. And you know what? If someone feels intimidated, if he feels scared, then oh well. Good luck. So I started working with Duchess Bune. I started asking Duchess Bune. Duchess Bune is a duchess, obviously. She is a spearhead of royalty. She covers aristocracy. She covers love to a certain degree. She covers feminine charm, regal poise, goddess allure, empress manifestations. So she's very heavy on women finding their power and their feminine. And I think if Duchess Bune was able to help me with it, I think Duchess Bune can help any woman, because I used to think, you know what, maybe God should have just made me a man, because it's very difficult being strong and powerful as a woman, because, well, understandably, you alienate most men. They were like, oh, she's stronger than us. I don't want to be around that, because they're not firm in their masculinity. So you end up feeling ashamed, like I did. Then I used to think, maybe I wish I wasn't intelligent. Maybe men don't like intelligence either. Maybe I should just be quiet and let them talk. It's like, no, why should I? If I've got something to contribute to the table, why should I? So it was constantly like I never had a role model to show me. And I hope that there will be some woman that watches this and thinks, oh, thank God, finally, I don't have to dim myself down, but I can also be feminine, and I can be as is. So feminine living is very interesting. Feminine living is receptivity. It's like one of my friends said, be at peace to receive a man, and be at peace to receive money, and be at peace to receive good friends. At peace. A lot of women lack the peace. They lack a certain carriage. That's what I would call carriage and decorum of how to present themselves. So what's happened in society, as I was saying previously, and I think I got detoured a little bit, is that you've got things like finishing schools. Like back in the day, almost every woman, if you're a woman, well, you're going. Well, we don't care whether you want to go or not, you're going. But it made a woman out of a girl. They used to teach you how to like stack books on your head, walk properly, sit a certain way, look and be charmed a certain way. It can feel a bit like, ugh, really, this feels so constricting. Like in the beginning when I was working with the Duchess, I was like, God, this is so constricting. It was so difficult for me. But she made it easier because she helped me vibrationally, meaning that she altered a few of my vibrations in my aura. So by naturally, I started to sit more feminine. I started to look more feminine. But what Bune's amazing magic, pun intended, was doing was, it was not removing my power. Lady Duchess Bune never said to me, Nadia, you can't be powerful and be a woman. She said, I love your primal power. I love the fact you are strong. I love the fact that, yes, you have strong currents of masculine energy. It doesn't mean that you're trying to be a man or anything. It just means that you are strong, decisive, independent, and capable. I don't think any woman should feel ashamed for that. But as you know, it can go too far. With some women, you think, I really like the way she is, but it's just like, if you could just have a little bit more elegance around that, I think it would work. So when I started working with Bune helped me understand that you can have the power, and you can also have the femininity, and you can have the axioms of it. And when you are powerful and feminine, there are going to be many people that are confused by that energy, because it's like, well, she's not shouty, she's not loud, she's not trying to boss people around or anything. She's quite poised and humble and kind and understanding and compassionate and graceful. but there is also a very strong boundary. You cannot have an open heart to people without a sword standing next to it. It's just impossible, basically. So Bune helped me and helped me help many women through what I call Lady Duchess Bune's rose pendant. So most of you guys have seen this on my site, and I actually show you this on camera because this is it's such a phenomenal little pendant, and it is actually a real rose, and it's glazed with 24 karat gold plate on top of it. And what I do is I layer very strong vibrational energy on this. So I perform a ritual with Lady Duchess Bune for it, and if you're interested, you can find the link below. If men are interested to purchase it for their wife, their girlfriend, their mother, their sister, anybody in their family, or if you're a lady, you want to purchase this for yourself, or you want to gift it to anybody that you relate to, you love, you're friends with, it makes for a wonderful pendant. Now, no one's ever seen me wearing this pendant because I just wear the energy on this cuff of mine, basically. So it's not the pendant per se. The pendant, I could just wear it like this and that's it, but the actual pendant is basically, it's the vibrations that it carries. So how do these vibrations work? Well, what they do is, the first thing they do is that if there is any uncouth and low-class behavior inside you, they're removed. This can be a bit strange for a lot of people to hear. So there's a lot of women that don't behave classy and they don't have any manners left in society any longer. Again, we go back to the same thing. We have nobody teaching them anything, because I don't think it's not that women don't want to learn. It's just, well, where are you actually learning this from? And then the problem is that where women are learning this stuff from, it is fake, it is artificial, it is only to please rich men in high society, and that's frankly quite boring. If the only reason you're trying to be feminine is to be part of the hypergamy circle to move and date upwards, you've got a serious problem. You should just be naturally feminine and powerful for your own self. So my point of sharing this video is not telling women, oh, well, you know what, I'll teach you tips on how to bag rich men. I am not interested in that life. I am not interested in a life that teaches women to be dependent. Spartanite is not a dependent concept. Very good if your man is wealthy and he makes money, and he should be doing. That's a prerequisite. It should not be anything exciting that you've got that. It should be a prerequisite of a woman that respects herself. I'm not here on camera teaching people gold digger tricks, nor do I care for them. But what I do teach women is class, femininity, and elegance, that in any type of society, no matter where you are, you know how to carry yourself without feeling awkward. I'll never forget a time that I went with a friend to a hotel. And it's one of those hotels that you take all your manners along with you, basically, and you, of course, are expected to dress a certain way, look a certain way. And even in one of my previous videos, I've mentioned this about Lady Duchess Bune, that she helps you get your stuff together, basically. Now, I remember one of my friends just looking at me, and she felt awkward as hell. Like, I could feel her awkwardness, being psychic. And I just said to her, you know what, it's fine, you don't know what you're doing, just watch what I'm doing at the table. And she's like, which fork am I picking up, and what am I doing, and how am I picking up I said, calm down, just watch what I'm doing, it's fine, just don't worry. And she's like, I feel so out of place. That's understandable, obviously. In polite society, you need to know all those kind of protocols, as I call it. Okay, that's what it saves you from. This alone, it can save you 30, 50K from finishing school, basically. I keep this at a super affordable price in the store. Again, I'll say it's in the link below if you're interested. And it keeps you at a point where you look polished and people can socialize with you in those type of circles where you don't feel and look out of place. Even when Duchess Bune started with me, in the beginning it was a bit of an adjustment, but it was not like how a woman has no concept of, decorum and just goes to a finishing school. It's like, well, now you're gonna have to do this now, and it feels so fake. This is not fake. What it does is it just readjusts your energy. It makes you start behaving in a way that is a lot more poised and finished, basically. That's why we call it finishing schools. So in conclusion, I really just want to make this video, and Duchess Bune has been on my case for goodness knows how many weeks. So Lady Duchess Bune, I hope you're happy if you're watching this video, which I know you always are, that you can be very powerful and primal as a woman. You can be an independent thinker, you can be your own leader in your own lane, and you don't have to be something that is, you don't have to compromise your ambition and your intelligence for your femininity. You can be both, and I would endeavor that anybody who wants to work with Lady Duchess Bune privately, that's amazing. I also offer her mentoring, again that will be in the link below too. And if anybody really wants to say, you know what, I'm ambitious and I'm intelligent as a woman, and you know yourselves, but no one's really taught me how to be a woman, Lady Duchess Bune is your woman. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I would love to hear, I mean, lots of women come and ask me these questions about Lady Duchess Bune, so I just thought I'd shoot an entire video on it. And I would love to hear your comments after liking, like, comment, share, subscribe, basically. And just know that you don't have to have an arm or a leg, both is possible, and the spirits can help you achieve that. All right, thanks so much for your time, take care, hope to see you in the next round. Bye.